ใช่ตัวนี้แหละ no smoke noโอเคโทษทีมีปัญหาเรื่องซูมนะครับเปลี่ยนเครื่อง alright so yeah shall we start for today class or ECP class number 4? So basically for ECP, right? So for today class, we're gonna have like I'm not sure that we're gonna have an English presentation for this week or not. มีไหมน่าจะไม่มีเนาะหรือว่ามี That's okay. If not, okay, maybe we can come up with it later next week or once all of us free, right? Okay. First of all, I'm going to let all of you do this kind of activity for the first part first, just because I think that you can listen, right? I mean, just share the idea to your classmate, right? So here we have 2 questions. And what I want from you is that just see from the following question first and then choose one of 2, right? The first question is that what do you think about why surviving is worth celebrating? So basically it aims to share the idea of how to fight, how to survive in this realistic world, right? So basically you have to come up with the ideas that, for example, like when it comes to study online or even on site, we have to choose between the 2, right? Is it okay to live in a different way, or what kind of changes that you can share to your classmate here, right? If you choose the first question here. The second is that what do you think about try to make an instant gratification? So for this second question, I'm going to say that you have to make sure that gratification, what does it mean? So basically, it's all about like what you say, something positive, right? Or when it comes to have problems or even, life is going to be going up or going down, things like that. So what makes you can say positive to yourself as an instant gratification here, right? Again, right? It's a bit, sharing the idea to your classmates, and I'm going to check that what we are going to do, just because for a list for studying of the TOEIC test, we have to see some challenging or some difficulties that can be found in that test. So here, this is a floor for all of us to share the idea to each other. Yep. ไปเลยนะฮะ I'm going to give you for 5 minutes to prepare for this. What you need to do is that just choose the question A or B, and after that, just try to clarify or even share the idea to your classmate here. Yep. ไปเลยนะครับเฮ้ยวันนี้เราจะเช็คชื่อยัง
ยังไม่ได้เช็ค
ยังค่ะ
ไม่ได้เช็คเลยใช่ไหมเราไปเช็คชื่อก่อนก็ได้ครับระหว่างรอนะฮะเราไปเช็คชื่อในไลน์นะขอชื่อแล้วก็ ID student ครับผม All right, everyone is ready, right? Okay, if you're ready, just turn on the microphone here and choose one out of two, A or B. Yeah, nah. เดี๋ยวเราไปพิมพ์ดัน perfect. All right, okay, so
I'm going to start, teacher.
yeah, good.
Well, I'm going to share the question number one, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do I think about why surviving is worth celebrating, right?
Yep.
And my idea is like surviving is a remarkable achievement that often involves overcoming challenges and adversities. Celebrating survival can serve as a reminder of your strength and resilience, as well as a way to acknowledge the journey and growth that have taken place. And it can be a meaningful way to appreciate life and the lessons learned along the way. That's it, teacher. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your sharing here. Good. Nice to hear from you. Just type done into the line group, please. เราเป็นพิมพ์ done นิดนึงนะฮะ Just type done into the line group, please. Okay, so we're done for the first student, right? Sharing the ideas for the first question. Think about life is worth surviving, or surviving is worth celebrating here. Yep. Anyone want to share? You can turn on the microphone. Everyone have to share for the first part today, just because we're gonna have two session of the interactive activity. The first one is think about it, and the second one is that talk about the TOEIC. So we have to, go into the details again. Maybe next. Okay. I think
Okay.
yeah, good.
I choose A. Yeah. I thought that whenever you have to face many situations in your life, both experience and knowledge will taught you how to move on. And the more experience, the more problem you pass, the more experience you get. So please celebrating anything in your life, because you have to celebrating yourself that no one could, because คิดว่าการเชียร์ตัวเองเป็นสิ่งที่ดีที่สุดอะค่ะ แบบว่าไม่ได้มีใครที่คอยเชียร์เราในชีวิตขนาดนั้น ใช่ มันคือการ healing ตัวเองอะค่ะ
All right, good. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing. Yeah, just type done for me, please. Okay, done, right? Okay, thank you for second one. Good. All right. So yeah, I think that everyone know a bit more about this, right? So I would say that everyone can agree for the first question or even second question. So I think all of us can share the ideas to each other, right? Someone turn on the microphone here. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going after the question one because I think it's the easiest. So I'm not sure if I understand this question, but I think it's good to celebrate for your survival because for me, I believe that life is fragile and everything can just happen in every second. I still don't know if I would die tomorrow, so celebrating for your survival is to remind that you are good and capable enough to survive through the ups and downs of your life. And that's it.
Thank you so much for your sharing here, right? Just type done for me. Please just make sure that everyone participate in the first activity, right? This is my aim to create this kind of activities might be not related to the way that we have to teach for the TOEIC maths, but I would say that you have to be reminded, right? You have to make sure that in order to do something for your success or even achievement later, so we need to see this kind of important aspect to each other, right? Anyone want to share for more? Okay, good.
I want to be next one ค่ะ I also chose question number one, and my opinion about why surviving is worth celebrating is I think there are some process for us to learn, like we learn the thing about the thing we face, we learn how to deal with it, and we learn who's deal with that, and our decisions of trying to go to it may be right or wrong, but at least we learn and we try, and at the end we might like achieve some lesson from it. And at the end, when we survive, I think it's like the proof that we can overcome any situations, like not fear to protect ourselves. And I think anything that comes to our lives will be lesson for us to make our next step better. Yes, that's why surviving is worth celebrating, in my opinion.
All right, thank you so much for your sharing here. Good. Next, great. Just type done. Just once you're done, right? Just type done. That's it. Okay. Next, please. Okay.
Okay, I would like to be the next one. In my opinion, surviving is like we have completed our goals day by day. We should be appreciated of how we manage to overcome obstacles in life. That's why it's worth a celebration for the achievement. Okay.
I see. Right. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type done. Just make sure that you type done, right? So I would suggest and I would invite or encourage all of you to do this kind of activities together. Just because I would say that, okay, so most of the time, most of you choose the first question, right? So I think that it is quite, let's say like it's real, right? Just because we have a life and then we have to make our life to be more fun or even celebrating from time to time. So this is a key important aspect that life is going on, right? And after that, we have to see what we should do or we shouldn't do next time in order to make sure that you can have a life in a better way. Yep. Anyone want to share, right? Okay. ใครยังไม่พูดได้มาเลยครับผม
So I choose the first question. Okay, why surviving is worth celebrating? Okay, I think everyone has a hard moment in their life. Okay, me too. So when I pass through that hard situation, I usually give myself a reward, like buying an alcohol for 2 bottle and playing game all night, like this.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Yeah, good. Just type done for me, please. Next, please. All right. Okay.
It's me, teacher.
Yeah.
I'm choosing this question number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, good.
For me nowadays, many people really want to see the results that they are trying to do, like a test or something that take time to practice, but they didn't want to wait and want an instant results. For me, in this world, there are many things that you have to take time to practice and understand it. Not just rush it and it will done. Everything have time to do so. Take your time and be proud of the time that you have spent for participate it.
Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, good. I just start done for all of us together, right? Right, good. I do agree that try to make an instant gratification is a quite interesting aspect that we have to see a positive thing or just a little thing that we can do in a single day, right? Just because when it comes to see some challenges or even difficulties, some may think in a different way. So what we need to make sure that we can go far from the start is that we have to make sure that every step, right, that we did the best or everything that we do might have like a little gratification here or positive thing. Go on. Yep. Next, please. ใครยังไม่พูดบ้างนะฮะ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7ว่าอีก 2 คน
May I, teacher?
Right. Yeah.
Yes, I choose question number question B, sorry.
Reward. Yeah.
Right. So I think trying to make instant gratification can be applied like for both. No, not for both. Like it can be applied both. No, not both. How to say it? Like sometimes it can be applied for the something to like recovery, but sometimes just for the job or like relationship it cannot be applied because it has to take time for something like that. But for if we need to like take our time to recover from the tiredness or something like from work or from college, it's okay to have a instant gratification, I think. Yes.
I
I
see.
think
Great.
the key is to balance. Yes.
I see. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just because, yeah, it's can be applied right into variety of dimensions of your life too, right? So for you are a student, so when it comes to see some kind of like things that is tough or difficult, so you have to say something positive, right? This is kind of like a gratification that we can foster and improve our self balance that you mentioned, or even self improvement, things like that. Good. Anyone didn't share yet? มีใครอีกไหมฮะ ไม่
อา
นั่น
จารย์
มาเลยครับผม
I choose question A. Like I think no one could escape death.
Yeah.
When death has not come to us yet, I think it's worth the celebration.
All right, good. Yeah. So the key is that celebrating, right? Celebrating while you were surviving. When it comes to see something like seeing something from you know, like those people who have like a trauma or even some kind of like a tough situation in their life. For example, like those people who stay at the hospital, right? Or even like those people who've been struggling alive from time to time. But it reminds us that this kind of thing happened in a different way. So what we need to have is that just celebrating what we have now. That's it. Anyone want to share? หมดแล้วยังน่าจะหมดแล้วมั้ง
Me, teacher.
มาครับ all right, good.
I'm going to choose question number 1. I have a friend who thinks that living is a curse or an obligation. So I'm saying that you should be grateful that you can live for another day, because there are so many people that want to live your life, but they couldn't. So I say to him that you should be do your best and living your life and celebrating for more for your life. Don't be sad. But he now he's gone, so I'm celebrating for him. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so nice to hear from you, and I'm sorry to hear that if there's something you know, some people may pass away or things like you know, you don't have any chance to meet each other, things like that, right? So anyway, this kind of thing, I try to connect the way that we have to learn and study together, just because I think we can start from positive thought first. For example, like if you think that a TOEIC test or even this kind of examination is a little bit challenging for some of you, what you need to do is that you have to start by a little thing based on this, according to the second question here, right? And then you have to put into practice, make an effort, and see yourself as a, you know, gradual improvement as a gratification too. So sometimes like celebrate when you got some achievement too, or any kind of thing that you can you know, share to others. I mean, like celebrating is not just for yourself. You can share the other thing for other people too. Yep. มีไหมฮะน่าจะหมดแล้วหรือเปล่า ขอเช็คกันนะ1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 good. All right, I think done for the first activity for today class. Done. Moving to second part for discussion part, just because all of you can share the idea, right? I would say that like all of you coming from English major, so I think you're gonna have a higher expectation from the others, the others student learning ECP with me. I mean, just because we can see from the TOEIC score as a tool or as a certificate to see the ability to use English in the real communication, especially when it comes to the international company or business aspect, right? So here it's all about like discussion part that is straightforward to the core content of the TOEIC examination or TOEIC test, right? So I'm going to give you a look at for the three aspects of the TOEIC test, and you can choose, or if you like to share a lot of the idea, is fine too, right? Can we see from the first question is that just because the TOEIC test is deemed to be like you're gonna get an impressive score or a better score from the TOEIC test. For example, like if you got a 700, 750, 800 or above than that, meaning that you are qualified to be working in international company. For example, like those international organization, especially for airline recruitment, right? So basically they can cut the minimum score as a 700 in order to make sure that a candidate can possess English use in the real world or real situation from a global communication here. My question is that, is it possible to make you as a getting imagine that you get a very high score first, okay? And then is that considered for all of you to be a strong candidate for a job recruitment, or even if you are looking for a job, it might be how can I say? I mean, like it's easier for you to get a job than others, not how, and just try to elaborate for more example if you wish to do so, right? Second, can you see here? Everyone can see that does it work, right? Does it work for those who have a TOEIC score? And then and then it is a way to showcase or even perform the ability to communicate across border or differences, different cultures, or even a variety of co-workers, right, from various international races or nationalities, things like that, right? So this one, if you got a TOEIC score, right, let's say an acceptable score from the TOEIC test, and is that can be a tool or a measurement that you can be able to communicate with a wide range of cultural differences here, right? Second question is a little bit, we have to share the idea of once we are Thai citizens who have to take the TOEIC exam, right? And we are going to see those people who are communicating in their, like let's say Filipinos or even Chinese, Japanese culture. This is different. So is that possible to see this kind of relevancy here? Yeah. Last question is that, do you think those who have a TOEIC score, again, right? I try to, conduct the TOEIC score with you again and again, just because I think that you can see the positive, positive aspect or even attribute characteristic of it, right? And also that you can see that if you get a high score from the TOEIC, what would it be in the future, right? So here, do you think a TOEIC, those who got a TOEIC score can affect in hiring decision? For example, imagine that I am a manager who just seek one employee to work in their international relations, or some kind of like I have to recruit for a cabin crew in the let's say like United States airline, or even like Australian or like airline, things like that, right? So do you think it is affect to the employment opportunities in the future, or now, or not? How and why? Yeah. All right, so I think I just make it clear to make sure that you got the point of in each question. And what I want from you is that just talk and then share your own ideas and your own opinion here. Yep. I'm going to give you for 5 minutes first, and then if you're ready, just turn on your microphone here. All right, everyone, right? Okay. So I think some of you may ready. If you're ready, just turn on your microphone to me, please. Yep. Okay, just choose first. Choose one or two or even three, and then talk, and share. And share, right? Once we finish for this activity, we can go for break.
Okay, teacher. I choose 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I think those who have TOEIC score can absolutely be hired by variety company because in nowadays almost every job have to use English nevertheless. So to make HR see your potential, not only experience but also your certification in TOEIC is necessary too. Some position in your job have to talk with your customer in English, some talk with team in English, or some going abroad. So this is very necessary to have TOEIC. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your sharing the idea here. Good, right? I think so. I think just because if you got let's say an impressive TOEIC score, right? So you're gonna have a better opportunity for the realm of employment opportunities, right? Okay, right. I think so. Anyway, for some international company, they're gonna have a solid set aside from assessment from one who have ability to perform themselves in English use. For example, like they're gonna have like first interview, right? Or second interview, or even what they're gonna do for some workshop, to make sure that you have ability to make it sure that it is going to be great. Things like that, right? Okay, good. Type perfect into the line group please รอบนี้เราเอา perfect นะฮะทุกคนต้อง perfect นั่นเอง เปลี่ยนได้นะ awesome ไหม awesome หรือ perfect ดี Anyone want to share for this kind of slide discussion for part 2? Just talk and then share the ideas.
I'll go with question 1.
All right, good.
Yes, I think it depends on a work field. Like if the job is involved with communication or paper, something like that, having the high TOEIC score will help us to be a stronger candidate. But when it comes to a job with other skills like IT or TV production, the high score in TOEIC may not be that important. Yes.
All right, good. I think so, right? Yeah, just because I would say that a TOEIC score, right, is a mandatory report, right, in any kind of company. For example, like even a government, they just require a TOEIC at least 550, right? As far as I can remember, and also that for some kind of organization. Okay, when it comes to talking about like international company, it is for sure that is gonna ask you to submit this kind of like TOEIC score. But for some part of organization or in the area that is maybe different, they can ask to, just because some kind of like this is an asset to seek for job recruitment or even such a candidate here. Yep. Anyone want to share? Share. นะครับ ไม่ต้องกดดันนะครับวันนี้เราเปิดปล่อย flow speaking ครึ่งแรกเลยมาเลย right good
Okay, so I choose number 3. Absolutely, yes. I think TOEIC score is necessary for applying for a job. Because the TOEIC score displays a significant role for career application, because nowadays, even you work in Thailand, it doesn't mean that you will not face English. In working society, you will need to coordinate with the companies overseas. So if you have a TOEIC score with you, you will have an advantage in applying for a job, because the company you apply for will consider that you are capable to communicate with foreigners to further the growth of your company. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing here. Yeah, I do agree with you too. Just type awesome, awesome, or perfect, right, for today class. I think it is very important to make sure for a decision making for employment opportunities, right? For example, like if you are applying to the international company from the overseas, it is for sure that you have to have a good skill in English. And I really appreciate the idea of that even you working in Thailand, it doesn't mean that you are not using English, just because we have to use this kind of English as a medium too for communication. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to talk just only for white people, right? Sometimes you have to talk with those people coming around the globe. This is very important to interact to each other through the forecasting or even command of English here. Great. Next please มาเลยครับawesome ทุกคนนะวันนี้เปลี่ยนซีนนะ
Well, teacher, I
Yep.
will go for the first discussion. Okay, and having a high score in TOEIC test, especially above 860, can certainly make you a strong candidate in a job search, particularly if the job requires strong English language skills. And how a high TOEIC score can contribute to making you a strong candidate in a job search. For example, a high TOEIC score can demonstrate English proficiency. Like a high TOEIC score showcases your ability to understand and communicate effectively in English, which is often essential for jobs that involve international communication, dealing with clients or customers from English-speaking countries, or collaborating with multinational teams. And a high TOEIC score can also give you the global job opportunities. Like many companies operate on a global scale, and having strong English skills can open up job opportunities that involve working with colleagues, clients, and partners from around the world. And your TOEIC scores provides like tangible evidence of your language proficiency. Also give you confidence in communication too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing here. Great. Just type awesome, right? Awesome. Okay. So yeah. I do agree. Just because for the third question is that its impact for sure. Just because you are fourth-year students too, right? So I think you are going to see yourself as a job search or a job employment opportunities. So I think that it is very important to understand or even emphasize on the significance of TOEIC score, right? And also the way that we have to prepare in order to make sure that if you took the TOEIC exam and you made this test satisfy for a TOEIC test, I mean sometime, right? So it is possible for all of you to retake again and again, just because I would say if you got a high score, so chances are, I mean, this is very important to make sure that you can do for better, right? Great. Thank you so much fun, right? Anyone want to share? Just turn on the microphone here. You're gonna have 1 or 2 or even 3. Yeah.
I'm choosing question number 1.
Yeah.
I think the TOEIC high score in TOEIC is can make you a very strong candidate in a job, because you can place it in the resume and the HR can see it first. The HR only see your resume, right? So you need to make your resume to be interest, and you will get the interview. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Just type awesome for me, please. Okay, good. So one of your friends just raised the the evidence of how to make resume become impressive, right? Or become outstanding from other candidates. So as an evidence of the TOEIC score, right? You can put into your resume, and then it can deliver it to the HR, right? As a paper. And this is like an initial process of look at all of candidate and then to ask them for the interview. So I would say that it is important to do this, just because if you got a very let's say an acceptable, impressive, or even a high score from the TOEIC test, and then just put it into your resume, so chances will welcome for you for sure, right? Just because they can see just only the paper before they conduct the interview, or even like they do for further interview for the job recruitment here. Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Anyone want to share? And anyone want to get awesome? Nah.
I'll go the first one.
All right.
I think average score TOEIC in Thailand is about 600 or maybe 700. If you got higher score than that, it makes you a strong candidate or the strongest. Okay. The higher score it will reflect your English skill to the HR, and you will get a higher opportunity to get a job.
I see. Great. Thank you so much for sharing too. Right. So one of your friends just raised the fact, right, that we can see from the average score of a TOEIC test is about 600 or 700. This is true, just because so that score is not that low. I don't think it is quite low, but I mean it is acceptable score, just because for the communication, if you have a command of intermediate level of English user or upper intermediate, right? So I mean that it is possible to work with international organization too, right? So we can discuss for more details. So for those who have a chance to get a high score, or even the best score from the TOEIC test, I would say that it is very great for them to get an opportunity in their job searching here. Yep. อีกสักคนหนึ่งไหมใครยังไม่พูดบ้าง awesome นะ alright.
May I, teacher?
Yep.
I would like to go for number 2.
Yeah.
So I think it works for people who have a TOEIC score to have the ability to communicate with foreigner, at least basically, but to get along with the culture and to get in touch with the culture for the foreigner, I don't think so. I'm not sure about this one, because to get along with someone culture, we need to have an experience, or have to get familiar with some culture for some time to know their culture. So I don't think TOEIC score can help about this one.
Good. Yeah. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Yeah. So for the second question is that just because when it comes to see the TOEIC test or TOEIC score from such individual or person who can perform their skill of English, right? So I can say that the TOEIC is a kind of a standard test, a standardized test that refer to the ability to understand or even comprehend standard spoken English use, or even written form, right? Reading, listening skills, things like that. So here we can see that a cross-border or even cultural differences is maybe a cause to maybe it may become difficulties for some reason just because when it comes to talk in a different way of speaking or even different diverse people talking in different dialect or talking with strong accent like that. So it means that we have to understand properly and also that we have to learn from each other. So I can say that yeah, it works for some reason, but sometimes it doesn't work just because we need some experience to to facilitate or as a common thing that we have to do so. Yeah. Good. Thank you so much มีอีกไหมฮะใครอยากแชร์เปิดไมค์เลยแล้วไปพิมพ์ awesome นะฮะเดี๋ยวไปเบื่อละ All right. Good.
I think the third question. I think people have to score like have a positive effect on a hiring decision. Like when we are employment and when the company want to accept us for work and they want only one person, they see two person. And if this job have to use English, one person have TOEIC and another person doesn't have TOEIC. So like TOEIC was a guarantee for the English skill for the one. So I think the one who have it must have a positive effect on the hiring decision.
I see your point now, right? Okay, good. Thank you so much for sharing here. So what I can say from all of you is that it doesn't mean that it is necessary to have a TOEIC score, but I would suggest that it should have a TOEIC score. As your friend mentions here that it might, see differences between the two, right? If in that position, just only seek the one who have, more capabilities or even better qualified to that position too, right? Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I don't think that the TOEIC score is kind of a problem right now. I mean, everyone who want to, working in such a company, right? Sometimes they may think of, applying to take the TOEIC test or some kind of a company, especially for the, manufacturing or even car industry, they're gonna have some kind of like an option to ask you to take the test, especially for a TOEIC test, right? In the industry or, engineering, things like that. So meaning that it's quite common. And also that the TOEIC is kind of like a proof to make it clear that we can connect to lots of industries when it comes to searching a job in the future. มีใครอยากพูดอีกไหมฮะเราจะปิดฟลอร์ละครบแล้วแหละนะไม่ว่ากันนะครับ so I think I have to finish for this item and then just move on to the listening test. I think I'm going to let you do as a homework for the listening section, right? But here what I have to say to all of you is that okay, again, for this week, we are going to ask to practice listening for part 4, but I think I'm going to have a problem with, let's say a microphone that cannot put into the Zoom much. So my solution for today's class is that I'm going to send you a link and then I just let you practice as a homework for listening part 4, right? Just because last week we did the conversations already, right? So for this week we have to shift a different part, which is a part 4 again, right? My suggestion is very easy. First of all, when it comes to listen, right, or practice listening, right, you have to focus only for part 3 and 4, just because a number of questions may vary a lot, and also you can gain a lot of score from this part too, right? For part 4, it's all about like monologue. It means that you are going to listen for a short talk and long talk, right? In business context, for example, like speech, delivery, or even directors saying something in the meeting or conferences from international company, or even like a telephone message, right? Things like that. Anyway, what you need to do is that listen by your own first for the first time, right? Without tape script, without any lyric in any subtitle here, and just listen and then understand and seeing. What you need to have is that skimming and scanning a bit, just because I do understand that for listening part 4, you have to glance the question from the test. I mean ABC, right? Or what the question is asking about, right? And also that you have to just quick reading, right? Quick reading from the answer, and then listen what they are saying or talking about in the same time. So it means that if you master this kind of simultaneous listening and reading skill at the same time, you're going to get a very impressive score from the TOEIC test, right? Second, try to make it clear that you miss wrong questions. I mean, like you have to make sure that once you miss the item or the wrong questions, right? Try to listen again, but try to make sure that you have a tape script, all right? And then just make for more clarification. If you miss for that question, just listen and repeat it again. That's all, right? So this is kind of a process of the listening preparation for part 3 and 4, right? Okay. So yeah, it's all about like explanation for listening test today. I'm going to send you a link into the line group, and be reminded again, this is for homework. If you wish to practice, just practice it, right? I'm going to say that it's a part of your midterm too, because it's all about TOEIC test here, right? ไปเบรกดีกว่าครับทุกคนเบรกกี่นาทีดี10 นาทีนะเดี๋ยวเจอกันสัก50แล้วกันครับ hello hello ยังอยู่ไหมเอ่ยใครอยู่คลิกกดหนึ่งให้อาจารย์หน่อยสิ พิมพ์หนึ่งเข้ามาดีมากครับผมน่ารัก Okay so shall we move to so this is the exam right a TOEIC test is because this is the core instruction for ECP ลองดูนะครับเดี๋ยวสวิตช์เป็นภาษาไทยแล้วกันให้เราทำดูนะครับสองข้อแรกตอบข้อไหนลองพิมพ์เข้ามาได้เลยนะครับเริ่มที่ข้อหนึ่งก่อนนี้แหละ I have noticed that my members of staff are currently not to be dress code guideline late on the employee manual. Identify ไม่เอ่ย complying to comply ตามด้วย with ใช่ไหมครับอันนี้เป็นเซนส์ของการดูtoward verb อะwhat is that how can I say คำที่ตามหลังตัวนั้นใช่ไหม identify มันก็ตามด้วยอะไรฮะ to be dressed ไม่น่าใช่ไม่ match นะครับ comply ได้ comply to comply with knowing to adhering to make sense ที่สุดใช่ไหมฮะเราตอบข้อไหนกันลองพิมพ์คำตอบไหมครับพิมพ์ตามเลยแล้วกันนะครับ ข้อนี้คือต้องดูในเรื่องของอะไรดีครับคำที่มันfix นะฮะ to be dressed meaning that we have to put adhere just because if you choose comply with เนี่ยมันจะไม่ได้ครับ comply มันตาม with นั่นเองนะ that's it what about second question here อันนี้เสียงมาหรือยัง1 2โอเคได้ city นะฮะcity council will not consider project proposed by sorry until it has been determined by an advisory committee pricing เนาะอันนี้ต้องเป็น pricing เพราะฉะนั้นคำตอบลงไปที่4นะฮะข้ามครับอย่างรวดเร็วแล้วกันไม่ยากนะครับพาร์ทนี้3กับ4ใครได้คำตอบแล้วพิมพ์เข้ามาเลย in the case in the time in the event แล้วก็ in the way อันนี้จะยากนิดหนึ่งนะหลายคนตอบ case ถูกไหมครับแต่ข้อนี้เนี่ยตอบ4 in the event แปลว่าในสถานการณ์หรือว่าในแง่ของนะครับ okay good the train from Pittsburgh blah 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 slowly because it has to make a lot of stop very for such many very แล้วกันนะนี่คือ adverb ขยายเจ้าตัว adverb ด้วยกันได้ถูกไหมฮะโอเคตอบเองครับข้าม5 และ 6ครับใครได้คำตอบแล้วพิมพ์เข้ามาเลยนะ so you'll need to find out the weight and dimensions of your parcel in order to select the delivery service only then and then หลายคนชอบตอบ and then นะครับเพราะเป็น process แต่ข้อนี้เนี่ยเป็น conditional sentence คุณจะถูกเช็ค weight กับ dimension ก็ต่อเมื่อเพราะฉะนั้นก็ต่อเมื่อเนี่ยมันจะเป็น point ของif clause นะฮะ if clause ตัวเดียวที่ได้คือ only if ก็คือถ้าถูกไหมฮะนั่นหมายว่าข้อนี้ตอบ A ทันนะครับไม่ยากอาจจะรีบนิดนึงนะเพราะว่ามันไม่ได้ยากสำหรับเราอยู่แล้วเพียงแต่ว่าเราแค่ get to the point แล้วก็ tricky ของตัวข้อสอบเนี่ยมันก็อาจจะมีบ้างในบางข้อก็ดึงมาแชร์นั่นเองนะฮะpetrol who want to refund and exchange must make a request at the customer service center within 1 month from at before between ท่านี้เป็น preposition นะครับ make sense ข้อ A นะ good ต่อครับ The administrative assistant should do stock check every day for night using from OS 201 to check if we are running low, going low, making low, staying low, running out of time, running low ก็คือเป็นสำนวนใช่ไหมฮะข้อนี้ก็เลยตอบดีดอก Okay audience member คิดตามนะฮะใครตอบได้ก็พิมพ์เข้ามาเลยผิดถูกไม่เป็นไรนะเดี๋ยวไอเฉลยให้อยู่แล้ว audience member switch off the electronic devices if they attend any of presentations scheduled throughout the conference if มี if อีกแล้วเป็น condition เป็นเงื่อนไขใช่ไหมฮะ remind will be remind are remind right ต้องเป็น B ฮะ B นะอันนี้ยากยากไหมไม่ยากแต่ว่ามันจะ tricky นิดหนึ่งเราจะสังเกตว่าif clause เนี่ยถ้าเป็น necessity หรือว่าความจำเป็นนะครับมันจะ if they attend ทีนี้เราต้องเช็คนะฮะว่าsituation happen at the same time หรือเปล่าถ้ามองตาม structure ควรจะเป็นอย่างนั้นแต่ทีนี้เนี่ยมันจะมีเวอร์ชันที่เป็นแบบ present plus future เช่น present simple tense เป็น future simple ถูกไหมฮะแต่ข้อนี้เนี่ยเป็นการบอกว่า all members need to do this and they have to do so the answer will go for me นะครับต่อนะ9และ10ครับเก่งมาก secretary อันนี้ไม่ยากครับเป็นสำนวนนะเหมือนแบบ take minute ถูกไหมครับ take เปลี่ยนเป็นช่องสองครับ1 2 3 3หาให้เจอก็คือ deduct ใช่ป่ะแค่นั้นไม่ยากไปครับ tour guide gave assurance and said that the group would not depart for the destination until everyone was definitely abroad the boat อันนี้เป็น preposition เหมือนกันนะครับ abroad ก็คือใกล้นั่นเองนะครับ go abroad นะฮะเขาใช้คำว่า abroad เนาะ abroad เดินทางเรือ let's say นะครับ abroad ตอบ A นะครับทีนี้ให้เวลาเราทำนะครับ4ข้อเดี๋ยว timing 2 นาทีพอข้อนี้ต้องใช้ critical thinking นิดหนึ่งนะครับปกติแล้วเนี่ยข้อสอบ text comprehension จะวัดอยู่2 skill ให้เรานึกอย่างนั้นสกิลแรกคือ reading comprehension หมายความว่าอยู่ต้อง timing ภายใน1 นาทีนะฮะแล้วก็อ่านให้เคลียร์โดยการดึงmain point ซึ่งปกติแล้วแล้วกันนะฮะ main point เนี่ยจะอยู่ที่sentence ที่1นะฮะหรือว่า sentence สุดท้ายก็คือพวก main idea ทีนี้พอให้เราเช็คก็คือเราเช็คว่ามันวัดอะไรบ้างนะครับเดี๋ยวให้เราทำนะครับ4ข้อเดี๋ยว timing ประมาณสัก4ข้อละ1 นาทีก็ประมาณ3 นาทีพอนะฮะโอเคเดี๋ยวเรามาเฉลยกันนะครับใครได้แล้วเนี่ยก็ลองพิมพ์คำตอบลงไปในแชทบ็อกซ์ก็ได้ไม่ต้องรอเพื่อนนะฮะส่งพิมพ์เข้ามาเลยนะฮะเป็นการฝึกทำข้อสอบในขณะที่เรียนไปด้วยกันนะครับโอเค alright เป็นไงบ้างลองมาไล่ดูนะครับข้อหนึ่งนะครับทีนี้พอเราทำข้อสอบพาร์ทพวกนี้นะฮะเราต้องไล่เช็คหน้าไปหลังนะครับเขาเรียกว่า logical skills นั่นแหละก็คือ we will be adjusting a frequency that the point accumulation statement are sent to our members อันนี้เป็น consequences นะฮะต้องมี something เกิดขึ้นนั่นหมายว่าต้องหาเหตุครับ longer accept membership application set to introduce a change to its membership program อันนี้พิมพ์ผิดแน่เลยต้องเป็น change apologize the recent difficulties with our record and payment system blah 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 ต้องเป็น cause แล้วก็วิ่งไป effect ใช่ไหมฮะเพราะฉะนั้นข้อนี้ต้องเป็น adjust เป็นผลที่ตามมาต้องเป็น A sorry ต้องเป็น B boy นะฮะลองเป็น B ดีกว่าครับ B นะโอเคได้ไปแล้วหนึ่งข้อสอง apart from in case of regardless of แล้วก็ on behalf of ตอบข้อไหนดี members may continue to log in ตรงนี้ current detail ต้องเป็นสาเหตุนะฮะแปลยังไงก็ได้ให้มันได้สาเหตุ apart from clause in case of regardless of on behalf of นี้ต้องเป็นชื่อคนนะฮะเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยข้อนี้ this change ต้องเป็น in case of แหละก็คือในแง่ของนะครับตอบ B boy นะฮะทุกคนแต่นะไม่ยากแต่ว่าอันนี้ส่ง midterm นะครับ midterm ก็ประมาณนี้ใครที่อยู่สอบ midterm ก็ทำข้อสอบพวกนี้ไปนะฮะ submit monitor mediate แล้วก็ convey นะอันนี้เป็นการวัดในเรื่องของคำศัพท์ใช่ป่ะ submit monitor mediate convey ลองไล่ you can accumulated point and see what rewards are available in exchange for them through the online account monitor พอพูดถึงเวลาเนี่ยตอบ B boy B หมดเลยเนี่ย BBB อีกข้อหนึ่งครับ consequently nevertheless moreover แล้วก็จบด้วย occasionally ตอบข้อไหนดี you can drop service center ข้อไหนครับถ้าจะต้อง drop ขนาดนั้นขอดูก่อนนะครับทีนี้เจ้าตัว transition เนี่ยมันจะมีอยู่3เซตถูกไหมครับตัวแรกคือไปด้วยกันนะไปด้วยกันก็คือการเพิ่มข้อมูลถ้าตัวที่2ก็คือ contradict ก็คือตรงกันข้ามก็พวก however but พวกนั้นแล้วก็สุดท้ายก็จะเป็น cause กับ effect นะฮะหรือว่า condition ต่างๆนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็น nevertheless หรือว่าพวกแบบ if clause ข้อนี้ต้องเช็คนะครับว่าข้อมูลที่ให้มาเนี่ยไปด้วยกันหรือเปล่าดูทรงแล้วเหมือนจะไปด้วยกันเพราะฉะนั้นต้องการพวก and ก็มีอยู่ข้อเดียวคือ C ครับผมเคลียร์นะเคลียร์ไหมฮะเคลียร์พิมพ์ x y ครับผมโอเคเดี๋ยวเราจะไปทำโอเคคิวสุดท้ายของวันนี้วันเราปิดเร็วอยู่แล้วนะฮะบ่าย3:30ก็หลาๆนะครับ All right, so I think it's time for you to do what? To do the vocabulary, right? Again, right? So today class we are going to do the vocabulary expansion นะครับโอเคไม่ยากครับตัวนี้ก็คือว่าให้เราช่วยกันนะครับก็คือทั้งหมดมันจะมีอยู่ทั้งหมด30คำนะฮะก็timingเวลาก็ประมาณสักครึ่งชั่วโมงที่เหลือที่เราจะอยู่กันนะฮะแล้วก็มี before we go อีกนิดหนึ่งก็ให้หา synonym นะครับถ้าหาเสร็จแล้วเนี่ยลองพิมพ์เข้ามาในแชทก็ได้หรือว่าถ้าใครที่เขียนเสร็จแล้วเนี่ยก็ message มาหาไอก็ได้ว่า done อะไรพวกนี้ก็ได้นะครับหรือว่าพิมพ์ข้อมูลเข้าไปลงไปในแชทก็เป็นอีก option หนึ่ง decorate decision นะครับdedicate delighted นะครับถ้าเราทราบแล้วเนี่ยก็เขียนเลยก็ได้นะเพราะว่ามัน based on what you have known and what you have not known right it means that if you haven't known it before so you have to check from the dictionary here but if you think that you can think of it just write it down that's it นะ okay demanding demonstrate description differential แล้วก็ disagreement นะครับsynonymous word here ไม่ยากนะครับ ต่อนะ10 ข้อผ่านไปปุ๊บรันต่อฮะบอกว่า defective deposit desperate dependent designate ให้ดูตัว part of speech นิดหนึ่งนะครับเพราะบางอย่างเช่น designate อันนี้อาจจะเป็น verb หรือว่าเป็น adjective หรือว่าเป็นอะไรพวกนี้นะครับลองไล่เช็คจะได้ชัวร์หรือว่า make it clear to be better นะ alright destination the deterioration determine อ่านว่า determine นะฮะ diagnose แล้วก็ differentials right แล้วก็ไปที่สุดท้ายคือตัวนี้นะ30 ข้อจะให้มา week ละ30 ข้อแล้วก็เรา expand ไป expand ที่ vary นะครับแต่ละคนอาจจะแบบหา1หา2หา3 whatever you can find นะแต่ว่าต้องพยายามจำคำศัพท์ที่ใกล้กันให้ได้มากที่สุดนะครับเผื่อเจอใน reading นั่นเองนะdiscrimination discrepancy deposable right dismissive disruption distinctive นะอันนี้เป็นตัวดีหมดเลยนะdistinguish อันนี้เจอใน research บ่อยนะ distribution dramatically แล้วก็ drastically ให้ดู part of speech นิดหนึ่งช่วยในการเขาเรียกว่าเข้าใจ word form ของเขาด้วยเพราะบางครั้งเนี่ยอย่าลืมว่าสมมติว่ามันตัวที่มันชัดๆเช่น dramatically ตัวนี้มันลงท้ายด้วย ly เราจะจับได้เลยว่าเป็น adverb แต่บางครั้งพอเราพูดถึงคำว่า let's sayอะไรดี lovely แล้วกัน lovely เนี่ยลงท้ายด้วย ly แต่ทำหน้าที่เป็น adjective ถูกไหมครับเพราะฉะนั้น synonymous words เนี่ยมันก็จะเป็นตัว adjective หมดเลยทันนะหรือไม่กรณีที่บางตัวเช่นคำว่า sign เป็นได้ทั้ง noun และ verb อะไรอย่างเงี้ยมันก็จะ vary นิดหนึ่งเพราะฉะนั้นการ expand vocab เนี่ยให้จำคำศัพท์เยอะๆไปก่อนนะครับช่วยได้เยอะนะฮะเป็น formal instruction ก่อนแล้วหลังจากนั้นค่อยไปดูในเรื่องของ part of speech ทีหนึ่งนะหลังจากที่เราเสร็จแล้วนะฮะให้ทุกคนพิมพ์เข้าไปหรือว่าสั้นๆก็ได้พิมพ์คำว่า done ก็ได้ครับ done คูณ3นะครับอย่างเงี้ยนะให้เวลา timing นะครับประมาณสัก10 นาทีพอไม่น่านานกว่านี้หลังจากนั้นให้ before we go ก็เหมือนเดิมครับ pattern เหมือนเดิมก็คืออยู่แต่งประโยคปุ๊บอยู่อ่านออกเสียง read out loud นะครับแล้วก็เป็น unfinish a class for today right okay เริ่มทำตัวนี้ก่อนนะครับ Surprise. Good. Someone finished, someone done, right? Great, great, great. Okay, so now we can see from the last activity for today, right? Before we go. Again, collocation now plus now here. Round of applause, right? Ceasefire agreement versus salt, right? So actually you have to look at the definition or meaning of it first, and after that, if you understand it, right, and you can create a meaningful sentence, and then after that just read it out loud, and you can finish a class. That's all it is for today class. Yeah. Good, 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 right?ดันแล้วหนึ่งดันแล้วสองดันเข้ามาได้ครับ Yep, yep. And you want to go home or leave from Zoom, you just prepare for this activity 4.4, right? Nah.
อันนี้คือพูดได้เลยเหรอคะอาจารย์
ได้เลยเสร็จยังถ้าเรียบร้อยแล้วก็พูดได้เลยครับ
โอเคค่ะ I chose number 2 and my sentence is they signed a ceasefire agreement and announced the end of war ค่ะ
Good thank you so much for your sharing there เรียบร้อยครับผม Thank you so much for today ขอบคุณครับ See you next week
Okay, next.
Okay yeah
I choose number 1. When someone make a great achievement, we should give them a round of applause.
See good just make sure right okay everyone agree and understood the meaning of in each word a phrase here Ma.
I choose round of applause ค่ะ
Okay.
The sentence after the inspiring speech, the entire audience gave a round of applause to show their appreciation for the speaker's heartfelt words.
Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Next.
I'm going next.
Okay.
I choose number 2. My sentence is the discussion between two armies ended up with the ceasefire agreement for the peace of both nations.
Good. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Next. Yeah.
I choose number 1.
Number
DJ
1
is the golden medalist of marathon this year. Give him a round of applause.
Okay, good. All right. Next.
After I finished the shows, I heard a lot of applause.
Right. Good. Yeah. Yeah, good. Just because for collocation is a little bit difficult to understand the meaning at it comes together, right? So if you understood the root of each meaning and you can create, right, by compose, let them combine to each other, right? So I think that it might be okay. So you can understand the sense of meaning too. For example, like positive, negative, or like neutral things like that yeah ใครอยากกลับบ้านนะครับรีบพูดเลยเดี๋ยวเราจะปิดคลาสละ
ครับ เลือก round of applause ครับ
all right
Students give him a round of applause after he won the spelling contest.
I see great thank you so much for your sharing here So first of all, I would say that you have to find out the meaning of each word first because I don't think that it could be straightforward, right? I mean, you need to understand in each word and then what it can be mean, things like that, right?
หนูไม่ค่อยแน่ใจข้อ3แต่หนูอยากลองนิดนึง
ได้จัดไปครับ
Okay. So this idol group have the same face, so I can tell one another from a bar of soap.
Great. Thank you so much for your sharing here. Bars of soap แปลว่าอะไรครับ
หนูว่าน่าจะเป็นฟีลว่ามันดูแบบเพลนน่าเบื่อมันดูแบบเซม looking กันหมดเลยอะไรอย่างงี้มั้งคะ
ใช่ใช่ that's okay เป็นไงบ้างครบหรือยังครบแล้วเราจะไปแล้วนะDo you think can I ask one of you or even like those of you just staying here, right? Do you think the last activity for it before we go is useful or not in terms of creating a meaning of word or composing some sentence here? A place where drink, especially alcoholic drink and serve of drawing. Bath soap. All right. I hope you guys enjoy, right? Enjoy learning and enjoy sharing the ideas, information, or how to do this kind of thing, right? I hope you guys that got something here, right? Okay, again, right? So my class of teaching I have to separate in each session, right? The first one is that you are asked to do a presentation on a grammar and I can summarize the idea maybe later, right? Okay. After that, we just open for the discussion part. The first one is that general overview, right? From perspective, a variety of perspective. And second is that we need to straightforward or just share the idea that is related to the test. Actually, I did a listening part in the class, but maybe some kind of technical problem. So I think it should, change it into like a send a link and you can practice on your own at home, right? And after that, just review the core concept of our TOEIC question from part 5, incomplete sentence, text completion, and also reading completion maybe after midterm, right? And this kind of activity just expand the vocabulary from the root or synonym, right? Synonyms, and then try to see the connection between part of speech and the meaning of it. And the last section is all about before we go here, we have to create a meaningful sentence here and also understand idiomatic expression, which might not be, common in the real way of communication. I think all of you have fun for today's class. I have to finish a class just only this and see you next time. นะครับ บ๊ายบายครับ
อาจารย์คะคลาสต่อไปก็จะเป็นออนไลน์หมดเลยใช่ไหมคะ
เดี๋ยวนะขอดูก่อนเรา prefer ยังไงบ้างครับ
ส่วนตัวหนู prefer ออนไลน์ด้วยค่ะเพราะว่าหนูมีเรียนคลาสเช้าเป็นออนไลน์เหมือนกันถ้าสมมติว่าเรียนคลาสเช้าเสร็จแล้วอาบน้ำอะไรกินข้าวมันอาจจะไม่ทันนะคะถ้าแบบไปมอ
ถ้าอย่างนั้นก็เป็นออนไลน์แต่ว่ามิดเทอมต้องนัดออนไซต์ได้ไหมหมายถึงว่ามิดเทอมเนี่ยมันจำเป็นต้องเซตติ้งแบบหมายถึงว่าจริงๆแล้วจริงๆคลาสของเทอมนี้เนี่ยเขาขอให้ทำออนไซต์แต่ว่าด้วยความที่ของเราเด็ก exempt เยอะนะฮะเราก็เลยต้องอินกลุ่มเป็นหลักก็คือ ถ้าเกิดว่าโพลออกมาแล้วเป็นออนไลน์ไอก็ยังไงก็ได้ก็คือออนไลน์ก็ได้ออนไซต์ก็ได้แต่ว่าสั่งมิดเทอมกับไฟนอลเนี่ยเป็นออนไซต์แล้วกันนะครับตามนี้โอเคนะงั้นก็เป็นออนไลน์ไปครับผม thank you ครับสวัสดีครับทุกคนครับบ๊ายบายครับ see you บ๊ายบายโอเค
ขอบคุณครับอาจารย์
ครับผม